Imagine you are holding a single $100 bill in your hand right now. For most people, this is just a dinner out or a new pair of shoes that will be forgotten in a month. But for a very small group of people, this is not just paper. This is a seed. This is a tiny soldier that can be trained to go out and capture more soldiers for you. If you are over 40 or 50 years old, you have seen how fast the world is changing. You have felt the silent weight of inflation at the grocery store. You have probably wondered if your retirement savings will actually be enough when the time comes. The truth is that most people stay stuck because they treat their money like a consumer. They earn it and then they let it vanish on things that lose value the moment they are purchased. But the wealthy see every dollar as a long-term employee with a specific job to do. Today, we are going to look at how to turn that $100 into a powerful retirement engine. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme or a gamble on the latest trend. This is about building a system that works while you sleep and grows while you enjoy your life. Think about the typical person approaching retirement age in America today. The data shows that many households have less than $200,000 saved after decades of work. On the surface, that might sound like a decent amount of money, but when you apply the 4% rule, that only gives you about $8,000 a year in income. That is less than $700 a month to cover your housing, food, and energy. You cannot live a dignified life on that amount. Relying solely on Social Security is becoming a dangerous game as medical costs continue to rise every year. Recent reports suggest a couple retiring today may need over $300,000 just for healthcare. This is why we need a different approach to every dollar that passes through our hands. We need a money multiplier that turns small amounts into significant wealth over time. The first multiplier is what I call cash flow compounding. Most people think you need $10,000 or a massive inheritance to start investing. That is a myth that keeps millions of people trapped in a cycle of poverty. With $100, you can start owning micro assets that produce real income today. Think about fractional shares of high-quality companies that pay regular dividends. When you buy a dividend stock, you are essentially hiring a massive corporation to work for you. Thousands of employees are working day and night to generate profits for you. They do the hard work, they manage the logistics, and they send you a check just for owning a piece of the company. At first, your $100 might only earn you 50 cents or a single dollar in dividends. Most people see that tiny amount and they laugh or they quit in frustration. They think it is not worth the effort because the immediate reward is so small. But that is exactly where the average person fails and the wealthy person succeeds. The secret is to never let that $1 retire from its job. You take that tiny profit and you immediately reinvest it to buy another fraction of a share. Now you have more soldiers working for you than you did yesterday morning. This creates an invisible income engine that slowly starts to gain momentum. Over time, through the magic of compounding, that engine starts to speed up significantly. Eventually, the profit from your investments is buying more shares than your own pocket ever could. That is the tipping point, where your money starts working harder than you ever could at a 9-to-5 job. Another way to use that $100 is through income-producing tools. If you have a hobby, a passion, or a craft, that money can buy the one thing that starts a side business. Maybe it is a better microphone for a podcast, or a specialized piece of software for digital design work. If that $100 tool helps you earn an extra $200 a month, you have just created a massive return. That is a 200% return on your investment every single month. You are no longer just a person with a job title. You are a creator of value in a global economy. The second multiplier is even more powerful for those who are over the age of 50. It is called skill arbitrage. This is the process of taking your decades of life experience and combining it with a modern, high-value skill. Many people in their 60s feel like the modern world has passed them by. They see young people making fortunes on the internet, and they feel confused or left out. But you have something those young people will never have, which is wisdom and perspective. You understand human nature, you understand patience, and you understand how to solve complex problems. Imagine taking $100 and buying a high-quality course on a skill like consulting or digital marketing, or perhaps learning how to use modern artificial intelligence tools to automate business workflows. A young person knows how to click the buttons and navigate the software, but you know how to talk to clients and solve the real-world problems that keep business owners awake at night. When you combine your deep wisdom with a new technical skill, you become an unstoppable force. Investing $100 in yourself is the only investment that can never be taken away from you by the government. The stock market can go down 40%, and the value of your home can fluctuate with the economy. But a skill that lives in your brain will pay you a dividend for every day of the rest of your life. Think about the world's top investors like Warren Buffett. They always say that the highest return investment you will ever make is the one you make in yourself. A $100 course could teach you how to build a digital product that sells while you are on vacation. That is a money multiplier disguised as simple self-improvement. Now, let's talk about the concept of the time machine. This is the part of wealth building that most people completely misunderstand until it is too late. Most people think that rich people buy fancy cars and big houses just to show off to their neighbors. But the truly wealthy use their money to buy back their most precious asset, which is their time. Time is the only currency in this universe that you can never earn more of, no matter how hard you work. Once a minute is gone, it is gone forever into the past. If you use your $100 to automate a task that you hate, you are buying a piece of your life back. Imagine hiring a virtual assistant to handle your boring emails or edit your videos for a few hours a week. If that free time allows you to focus on a strategic plan that earns you $1,000, you have won the game of life. Successful entrepreneurs use a model of $10 tasks versus $1,000 tasks. Most people spend their whole lives doing $10 tasks, like data entry or running simple errands. But if you can outsource those small tasks for a small fee, you can spend your energy on the big ideas that move the needle. Money buys you time. Time gives you the mental space for focus, and focus leads to scaled income and true freedom. This is how quiet millionaires build wealth, while everyone else is just staying busy and tired. The goal is to move from being a permanent consumer to being a permanent creator. Every time, is this money going to die today in a cash register? Or is it going to live forever in an investment? When you spend it on a luxury item or a fancy dinner, it dies the moment you leave the building. But when you are building a system that can support you and your family for decades to come. It all starts with a fundamental shift in your mindset. You have to stop thinking about what money can buy for you in this exact moment. You have to start thinking about what money can do for you and your freedom tomorrow. The first million is always the hardest, because you are building the habits and the discipline from scratch. But even if you are starting late in life, it is never too late to plant the first seed of your forest. If you invest just a few dollars a day into a simple index fund, you can still reach a massive financial milestone. The bar to be above average in our society is actually very low, because most people are doing absolutely nothing. Consistency and patience are your greatest weapons in this journey. Do not listen to the cynical people who say that a small amount of money does not matter in the long run. They are usually the same people who will be struggling and complaining 20 years from now. You are making a different and better choice today. You are choosing to be free from the stress of debt and the fear of the future. You are choosing to be in total control of your own destiny. Take that $100 and make a decision that your future self will thank you for with tears of joy. Maybe you buy that first fractional share of a great company today. Maybe you sign up for that online course you've been thinking about for months. Whatever it is, do not let that money sit idle and lose value to inflation. Put your soldiers to work in the marketplace. Build your invisible engine of wealth and watch with pride as your life begins to transform $1 at a time. You already have the wisdom and the life experience to make this system work for you. Now you just need the simple discipline to start and the courage to stay the course. The road to financial freedom is not paved with luck or winning the lottery. It is paved with intentional and smart decisions made every single day. Believe in the power of compounding interest. Believe in the massive value of your own unique skills. And most importantly, believe that you deserve a future filled with peace, dignity, and security. The engine of wealth is waiting for you to turn the key and start the journey. Let's get started on your future today.